Hey, what's up guys, it's Darius, and this is in my opinion the best PC you can build for around $1,000. This is my personal computer. I use it daily, and that's also where all my videos are made. I've had it for a couple of years now, but especially recently I've had some major upgrades. A couple of parts are still the old ones since I didn't have any reason to upgrade them. I will show them to you, but I'll obviously recommend newer and better parts for this PC build. Make sure to click the links down below in the description to check out the most up-to-date prices. Starting with the CPU, I have the Intel Core i7-6700K. It is an amazing CPU, probably the best one out there that isn't super expensive. It can handle all daily tasks, it can handle all gaming, and it can even handle 4K video editing without any issues. It even mostly performs the same as the 6800K, which is a lot more expensive. Here's a great comparison by Hardware Canucks, so check that out. It is a quad-core chip with hyper-threading, so that means it acts or performs like 8 cores. It's clocked at 4 GHz. I've overclocked mine to 4.4 GHz without any issues. In fact, according to Geekbench 3, it is the fastest single-core performing CPU out there. So that's pretty awesome. If it is, however, a little too expensive for you, or you rather invest the money in a better GPU, then you can also go with the i5-6600K, which is a great chip as well. To keep it cool, I'm rocking the Arctic Freezer 7 Pro Rev 2. This is one of the older parts, for example, but it's a great cooler. It's very quiet also, so that's good. Overall, the whole build is fairly quiet and cool. If you want a better or newer cooler, I'll also have another option linked below, but the Arctic cooler one is a great option too. In terms of graphics cards, it is packing the AMD RX 480 8GB version. It is a great card, and it even comes with VR support. Mine is from Sapphire, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter which one you get. If you have a little more money to spare, then you can also go with the GTX 1070 or 1080, which are both incredible cards. I personally didn't because I don't need it, and I don't game really, so video editing is also more CPU intensive mostly, so I personally didn't, but if you have enough money, go ahead, they're really awesome cards. On the memory side of things, it packs 16 GB of DDR4 Corsair memory clocked at 2400 MHz. This is plenty fast and enough for all tasks. If you plan on doing a lot of heavy video editing, especially in After Effects, you maybe should consider upgrading to 32 GB. I personally am considering it, but it's definitely not necessary. The motherboard is the Gigabyte Z170 HD3P. It has all the necessary features. It even comes with an M.2 slot and USB Type-C or USB 3.1. It also has room for expansion. It's not necessarily the best board, but it's a good one and it doesn't break the bank. In fact, it and the whole build is even Hackintosh compatible, I made sure before. So if you want to do that, it is possible with this PC build. In terms of hard drives, I've kept my old ones. I have the 120GB Samsung 840 EVO, a 1TB Western Digital one, and a 500GB Seagate one. If you're building a PC, I just recommend you decide what kind of hard drives you need. I definitely recommend buying an SSD as your main boot drive with all your main programs, maybe your games or your video editing software. The Samsung 850 EVO is probably the best option. I would pair that with a larger, cheaper hard drive so you have enough space, but it won't be super expensive. It really depends on you, so you decide, but I'll leave a couple of suggestions down below. For a case, as you can see, mine is definitely not pretty. It's my old beat up case. I personally don't care about aesthetics when it comes to PC cases because it just sits under my table, out of my sight. I don't really care. For you, it is again personal preference. Just pick any case that looks cool for you. I'll have a couple of options linked below, but again, it's up to you. For a power supply, just get any around 500 to 600 watts. It doesn't really matter what company. I like EVGA or Corsair, but it doesn't really matter. I'll also link a couple down below. Mine is my old one. I think it's 600 watts and it works fine. You don't need a 1000-watt power supply, for example, because this build is fairly energy efficient, but make sure to not buy one just for the bare minimum, because you might want to upgrade later in the future or overclock. This is definitely a great build. It will last you a long time. It performs really well, and it also has room to upgrade in the future. Like I said, it's fairly quiet and cool, and you'll definitely be happy with it. And I personally am as well. Now to round this up, I'll show you a couple of benchmarks, or to show you how it performs. In Geekbench 3, it scored around 4,900 more or less in single core performance, and in multi-core performance around 19,000, which is definitely very good. Like I said, it is the fastest single core performing CPU, and in terms of multi-core, it is the fastest quad-core CPU out there. In Cinebench, the results were 949 for CPU and 152 frames per second in terms of OpenGL. In 3D Mark Firestrike, it scored around 10,300 more or less. I'm not much of a gamer, so I don't really have gaming benchmarks, but I've played a couple or tried them on the PC and they all work perfectly. Let's just say it can run all modern games on 1080p on Ultra and all on 1440p, maybe not on Ultra. 4K should be, I guess, doable, but not good frame rates. So if you want to play on 4K, you definitely need a better GPU. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave it a like down below for my first PC build. Comment down below on how I did. Maybe I can improve somehow. Just let me know. If you want to build this PC, again, the links are down below. Have fun building and make sure to subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye.